Hey everyone, I'm Harley Clifford, Flite Performance Team Rider and Ambassador. Today, we're going to teach you how to fliteboard. Most people can learn in under an hour, especially when they start with a lesson from one of our global flight schools. Before you hit the water, watch this video to learn the basics of how to fliteboard. Before we get into the instructions, let's talk about safety. Fliteboarding is an incredible activity, but when learning to eFoil, there's always potential to fall on the board, wings, or mast, so caution is recommended at all times. Always wear a helmet and approved personal flotation device. Be careful not to kick anything sharp when swimming near the board. Keep hands or feet away from the propeller or impeller. The motor is powerful and a serious injury could result from coming into contact with it. It is important to choose a suitable body of water that is at least 1.5 meters deep or 5 foot deep. Ensure it's clear of obstacles and traffic and remain at least 150 meters or 500 feet away from swimmers and the other water users. Regulations vary from state to state and country to country, so always check whether you need a license or registration and the specific rules in your area. Choose a location with smooth water on a calm day for easiest learning. Take particular care if the bottom surface is a hard surface or rocks, which could scratch and damage the carbon wings and board. Soft sand is the best. Make sure you've reviewed our assembly instructions and video, which includes pairing your flight controller so you're ready to enter the water. You can carry the board by holding one handle and the mast. The board can either be in front of you or behind you. An alternative way is to crouch down beside the board, facing the wing. Place the mast on the top of your shoulder so you can utilize the protective layer of your PFD, engaging your core lift with care. You can get a friend to help if required, or carry the board to the water's edge before placing the battery in its compartment. Take care not to place your flight cell in the sand. Push the board on its side or upside down, out to the chest deep water, or 1.5 meters to 5 foot depth. Now flip it over. Lie on the board in a position where you can touch the nose of it with your hand. If you are a heavier rider or using the Pro or Ultra board, it may sink when lying on it. Simply make sure the nose is out of the water to maintain the Bluetooth connection. Ensure your gears are set to level 1 on your flight controller. Press and release the trigger to engage the motor, and press and release the minus button to arm it. When you see the countdown on your screen, gently squeeze the trigger. The board will start to move slowly. Now hold the trigger all the way in. Use your thumb to change gears with the plus and minus buttons. Lying on your stomach, practice gradually increasing and decreasing speed between the gear levels. Be sure to keep enough weight on the front of the board to keep the nose of the board down and parallel to the water as you accelerate. It's time to advance to your knees. Experiment to find the right speed level for you. You want to be moving fast enough for the board to be stable, but not so fast that you're bouncing up and down in the chop. The ideal power depends on your board choice and weight. Generally, you want to be riding at a speed of 6 to 10 kilometers per hour or 4 to 6 miles per hour before moving to your knees. While traveling at your chosen speed, place both hands on the nose of the board. Pull your knees towards your chest while pushing your body up. Position your knees in front of the lid hinges. If this position causes the nose to sink, you're likely going too slowly. If you start foiling and crash getting to your knees, you're going too fast and have your weight too far back. Once on your knees, shift your body weight forward to keep the nose down. Spend time balancing on your knees and changing speeds. Once you feel ready, you can practice starting to foil on your knees by increasing your speed. Carefully move your head and upper body backwards. You'll know when you're foiling when the splashing sound stops and you can only hear the faint hum of the motor. As soon as you foil, move your upper body forward to touch down again. Do not release the trigger. Practice this skill and notice how very subtle changes in your weight engage the wing to bring the board up and down. Go slowly, taking time to practice each step before moving to the next. Now it's time to stand up. Select the power level where the board feels stable and supported, but not yet planing. Depending on your weight, a speed between 8 to 12 kilometers per hour or 5 to 8 miles per hour is ideal. From your knees, place your foot just ahead of you. Your toes should be near the front of the foot pad and slightly to one side. Get your balance and then slowly stand from a lunge position with as much weight as possible, pushing through your front leg. Don't forget to keep the trigger fully engaged. Your speed should remain constant for a smooth ride. You control the board more with your front foot. Keep your shoulder aligned with the board, the chest up and your arms down. You can hold onto your wrist with your free hand. Too much weight on your rear foot can result in the foil engaging and lifting the nose up. This can lead to an unintended crash. Don't panic, just press down through your front foot. Now you'll be standing sideways. Looking forward, feet should be slightly wider than shoulder width apart and slightly offset. Practice slowly adding speed, pushing down through your front leg while you accelerate. The propulsion wants to give you lift, so whenever you become uncomfortable, shift as much weight as you can towards the nose of the board. Once comfortable riding at medium speeds, practice going faster. The board will start to plane and flatten off. Keep your weight forward, now you're ready to foil. Riding at a constant speed of approximately 16 to 25 kilometers per hour or 10 to 16 miles per hour, depending on your weight. Gradually release the pressure from your front foot. Do this very carefully with your weight over the center line of the board and your core engaged. As soon as you feel the board leave the water, you'll hear the noise change. Immediately reapply pressure on your front foot and touch down. You've now foiled from a standing position for the first time. It's a new experience and your brain must get used to a new way to balance. If you crash, don't worry. Have another try. Don't vary your speed. This will unsettle the foil and make balance harder. Like an airplane, the foil wings need a constant speed for smooth flying. If you try to foil when going too slowly, the wings will stall and you'll crash. The goal is to foil as low as possible for very short sections with your board parallel to the waterline. Try foiling for 5 meters, 16 feet at a time, and then touch straight back down. This is all you'll need to do. Practice this and your brain will work out the rest. The balance point will come naturally. You'll foil for longer sections and then continuously. The safest and fastest way to learn is to foil low and practice touching down again. Trying to get too high too quickly may result in a crash. If you feel like you're going to fall, don't try to rebalance yourself. Simply just jump away from the board to avoid hitting the wings or mast as you release the trigger. Alternatively, you can jump off the back of the board. The last stage is learning to turn on the foil. Don't try and turn on the foil until you're very comfortable in a straight line. Turning while foiling requires careful balance on all axes. Use small inputs. The foil reacts quickly to lean and weight distribution. To turn, gently shift your weight towards your toes or heels, just enough to nudge the board into a curve. Toe side turns, roll the board slightly toward your front side. Heel side turns, roll it back towards your heels. Look in the direction you want to go and let your shoulders follow. your body naturally guides the arc of the turn. Keep the throttle steady through the whole movement. Sudden changes in power can cause the foil to rise or drop unexpectedly. Start with wide, gentle turns. As you get comfortable, you can make them tighter and smoother. There are no limits to what you can do on a Fliteboard. There is so much progression, play, and possibilities. Like we said earlier, practice each step before moving to the next. Before long, you'll be discovering the incredible feeling of freedom that only a Fliteboard can give you.
Nice work. Now you know the basics. From here, it's all about getting out the water and experiencing flying for the first time. Now welcome to the world of Fliteboarding.